You may be wondering, what is it about Ron Paul that inspires such extremes? Such maddening support on one hand and such fear and loathing on the other? I can give the answer in one word: soul. The essential soul of a human being is by definition free. The idea that men are free is determined by God as a concept that is foreign to most men. This is because most men want to control others, to take away their freedom. This is usually referred to as the drive for power. The drive for power is antithetical to freedom because power means the ability to control others. There is only one legitimate thing that power can and should be used for, whether it be military, legislative, or executive power, and that is to legalize freedom. Ron Paul doesn't want to be president to give me my freedom. He doesn't own my freedom, and he can't give it to me. The only reason Ron Paul wants to be president is to stop punishing people for using the freedom that is rightfully theirs. He wants no power. This is clear to anyone who listens to him speak. There are two kinds of human beings: those who want power and those who want freedom. You can tell which one's which very easily. Those who want freedom are straight-edged, they are consistent, they are principled, and you can feel their human soul when they speak to you. There's a continuum out there of human souls somewhere in spiritual cyberspace, and when you come into contact with one of these souls, you know it immediately, because souls by definition are free. You sense sincerity, realness, consistency, a free human being. If you're a person who seeks freedom and you come into contact with a real human soul, you become instantly addicted and you swallow up anything you can get your hands on. You want to unite immediately, no matter what you disagree on. There are people in the freedom movement that don't exactly agree with me on everything, but I don't care. If they want freedom, I can sense it, and my human drive for individualism suddenly turns into an intense desire to unite into a collective, but a collective of free individuals. It's a beautiful dialectic. It doesn't matter what we agree or disagree on, as long as we agree on freedom. You get hooked on Ron Paul, and you desperately seek more and more. Any video you can find from the past, any speeches you missed, anything he said that you haven't heard yet, even though you've heard it 1,000 times already in different words. You can't help yourself. The voracious hunger to be able to use your God-given freedom, it takes over you entirely. It's like you suddenly realize you're a human being, and the divine image with which God created you comes alive and it catches fire. But something else happens to you. Once you get hooked on Ron Paul, you can no longer bear to listen to a man who wants power. You become instantly disgusted whenever they begin to speak. Before they were just boring, but now they're revolting. Listening to a Romney or a Gingrich or a Bush or Obama, it makes you sick. And you just don't understand how Ron Paul can get through these debates without getting nauseous. You see a political veneer in these politicians. It's so transparent. It's like a ghost flapping its ethereal tongue at you, and you just can't bear it. What's so maddening about hearing Romney or Gingrich or any of these other politicians speak is that there's someone standing there saying things, but there's no soul in it. These are not free men. These are power men. Not that Romney or Gingrich don't have souls. They do. They are men just like you and I, but they have practically forfeited their souls to try to attain power, to control others with spin and talking points and contradictory statements, like I want to cut the budget and expand the military, and they'll say it with such a polished tone and a straight face, just like a soulless recording. Their humanity is so buried under the mountain of lies they have told themselves that neither they themselves nor you can even sense their souls in the human continuum. The scene of a human body speaking, but no soul communicating, it can drive a free man mad. The reason that Ron Paul never goes down in the polls is because he's not convincing people in the everyday sense that he's right on whatever issue. He's activating human souls. He's lighting spiritual fires one by one, speaking about freedom. Once a soul gets activated, and a man realizes that he is free, no matter what people do to him or tell him, well, there's no turning back from that. The other candidates, they're trying to turn heads with snappy one-liners, and slaves follow these one-liners like mobs. They follow each other from candidate to candidate. Slowly but surely, Ron Paul activates a few of the individual souls in the mob, and he continues to go up in the polls. Yet we cannot expect every man, woman, and child to understand or get excited about the message of liberty. In fact, most just can't handle it. Being truly free is as terrifying as it is electrifying. Not everyone can handle the message of freedom. It's too frightening for some people, and some are just too enslaved. These are the people that despise Ron Paul, the same types who rebelled against Moses in the desert and attempted to go back to Egypt. Freedom is too much for them, and they can't handle this divine gift. They want and they need someone to control them. Their souls have been too battered by slavery, taxation, and wars. I used to not understand why people would give everything to this man, but now I do. Whenever he's asked the question, would you legalize heroin? Ron Paul answers, I want to legalize freedom. Little do these people understand that freedom is 1,000 times more addictive than heroin.